Welcome back, thanks for joining us. I'm out in the veggie patch harvesting some salad ingredients for dinner and about to put the shade cloth on some of the things like lettuces because it's going to be a warm day today in the 30s and lettuce does not like being that hot. So we're probably got a month left to go of summer and we're in peak harvest now. This is when really we've got lots in the garden to harvest, a lot of salad ingredients and quite a few veggies too. So there's a lot of videos of a little bit in the garden harvesting bits and pieces, and we also got downstairs to the guest accommodation and finished a little bit of that. So I'll pop up what we've done this week, and thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week back on the farm. I've come out to harvest some veggies for dinner, and I think this little row of carrots, I can't remember when I planted those, but I think some of those are ready, so I'm going to see if I can get some of those out to add to my green beans. We'll see how we go. Let's have a look and see what's here. I don't actually thin my carrots like lots of people do. I just plant them, and my thinning is just by picking the biggest ones. So you can see there's a nice little shoulder of carrot there. Let's see if I can get it out. Bit tricky with one hand. Oh, that was harder than I thought. I've pulled the top off, unfortunately, but I got it out. Woohoo! First carrot for the season. Get a couple of more of those. So down in the corn patch, time to pick the first corn. I've been looking, and I think we're going to get that one, and we'll find another one too. First corn for the season. Some bit of patchy fertilisation on the back there, but it's a good size. So we'll add that to our dinner. That one's a bit better. The top not quite as yellow, but good pollination all around. No patchy bits. That's the harvest for today, all for dinner tonight. And this is one of the many reasons why we do what we do and we live where we live. Just fantastic. An update on the bean arbor. So this side of the arbor here was where I planted the tongue of fire dried beans. First time I planted those, but look at how many beans are hanging. We're going to get a great harvest, and they'll be dried beans which we'll use in the winter time for when we don't have fresh beans, and they'll go in stews and soups and any sort of thing, curries, all bits and pieces. So when you haven't got fresh ones, dried ones will be great. And then I'll make sure that I save some seeds for next year. And they're a good sized bean. I'll show you when we eventually harvest, but they will stay on this vine until probably heading into winter before the frosts, so that they dry on the vine ideally, and then you pick them. The other side of the vine, I planted some snake beans, but I think they've been overtaken by the unruly other climbing green beans, and I can't see which ones are them. I'm guessing that pretty purple flower is one of those, but I can't actually see a bean. But got my first loofah flower. So these look like they're part of the loofah. There's only one loofah at the end here, and I'm hoping that that will end up a loofah. It's a beautiful still morning this morning on the farm, and the ground's all dewy. We had about 1/2 mil yesterday. Not a breath of wind. So time to come out and do some more harvesting. I've been off farm for a couple of days, and I know in here there's some zucchinis that need to come out. Oh dear, there's a couple of yellow ones here that have, look how big they are. But they're still good for things like zucchini slice. And I have been the excessive zucchinis. I do grate them and put them in the freezer for winter time so that we can still have things like zucchini slice or add them to slow cookers. So if you have excess zucchinis, grate them and freeze them in bags of 1 or 2 zucchinis. It's a great use when you have lots. So 2 oversized yellow ones and 1 really oversized green one. That's probably too big. That'll go to the pigs or the chickens. There's a couple. There's a little green one in there that I might leave till tomorrow, give it another day. I actually quite like them a little bit bigger. And there's another one there that I'll leave for a day. Don't you just love these flowers? Come and get me, bees. Come around the back to see if there was anything, and there's a big sneaky big one in here. Didn't know he was growing, so get him out. So that's the zucchini harvest for today, and I really probably should have picked those yesterday or the day before. These 2 will probably go to the pigs or the chickens, but these 2 zucchinis here that are massive in amongst that sweet potato as well. I planted those. They're the first ones I planted in November, and they're still producing. So we're the end of, actually it's the 1st of Feb today. So they have, like, zucchinis are one of the best things to plant, but they do get big, a little bit unruly, but they are great producers. Down to the other zucchini that's been quite prolific for us. My knife, and that's one of those Lebanese ones, a bit striky. Get that one off, and that will be pigs and chicken stew. Oh, that's a good size one. And the chicken production continues. This mama hen is a hen that we hatched last year from the caravan, and she's an interesting colour. She's sort of upside down, so her body's black and her neck is white. But 3 weeks ago I put 2 green eggs and 3 green eggs and 3 brown eggs under her, so in the effort to try and hatch some more coloured eggs and get some hens. One of the brown eggs got broken by another chook that came and sat on her nest, and this poor mama, she got pushed out of her nest sometimes, and there'd be a white Sussex in there, and then one day I went in and the eggs, nobody was on them, so I didn't hold out much hope. But yesterday one hatched, and this morning there's another one hatched. So there's a brown egg hatched and a green egg hatched, and she just got up and I had a quick squeeze, and there's another one just hatched. So we moved her into the maternity ward this morning so she could have some peace, and the baby chicks can start their new beginnings in some peace. Well done, mama. So we're a couple of days on from hatching, and to my surprise, they have all hatched. So mama has 5 little chicks. So hopefully, cross fingers, we've got a little girl, Copper Moran, in there. Time will tell. But well done, mama. Bit of cucumber from the garden that got a little bit too big. Mama hen's enjoying. Teaching the chickies how to eat veg. So we had about a month off of the downstairs guest accommodation, but we've got some guests coming, so it's a good opportunity to finish off the painting. And Robert's done a fab job of cleaning up the floor. Have ground. What have you done? You've grinded it a bit.
Grinded it, yep.
Because we've decided we're going to just paint the floor rather than putting boards down, just in case we get some more leaks in this area. So we'll show you when we're painting the floor, we've got a special concrete paint. All the doors and architraves are on now, and this room's had its final coat of paint. And the door's on over in the little corner bit, but the boys' room is now full of furniture and we still haven't got to that, but we'll get to that one in time. So let the floor painting begin. So we just chose a fairly light grey. Thought it looked a bit darker than that on the card, but is what it is. And whether in time we'll change things and put flooring down or carpet or who knows. But at this stage, painting the concrete seemed like a good option. So we've started rollering and it's looking good. It's amazing the difference. Concrete and paint. I guess it looks a little bit like concrete paint, doesn't it? Oh, stinky. Final coat of the floor is done 24 hours ago. So we'll start moving the furniture back in tomorrow. And then the only thing to do is to get the little skirting boards for the bottom section there, which we'll certainly get in time, and then paint around the architraves. So that's 2 sections done, and the bathroom, we've just got 1 bedroom left to do, which is good. So we'll leave it there for this week. Thank you for tuning in and seeing what we're up to on Stony Creek. We've also started an Instagram, our Stony Creek journey, so if you want to pop across there, our goal is to try and put a picture up every day, which gives a little bit more of a snippet of what's happening on the farm and what's going on. So until next time, we'll see you back on the farm. Ciao.